Hello friends, let's continue our example. So these friends were communicating sitting on their hilltops, and through light they were able to communicate, and they were using a torch, and for saying one they used light, for saying no they just turn off their light. So it so happened that the communication was going on smoothly, and it so happened that the battery of A stopped working, so it totally discharged. Therefore, the torch is no more working, and hence the uh, nothing is coming out of A. B is watching. Since nothing is coming out of A, so B thinks that A is sending a 0. Again sees nothing is coming. He assumes A is sending 0. Again sees, assumes 0. Again sees, assumes 0. So he assumes that 0, 0, 0, 0 is sent, which means a code 0. So he looks into the code book, and for the message against 0, when he looks here, it says hello. Good. But what is happening is A is no more having any battery in his torch, so he is not able to communicate. But that's not known to B, so B is still working with the old protocol. No light means 0. So after predefined time, he looks at the side of A and he finds no light, so he takes it as 0. No light, 0, no light, 0, no light, 0. So means 0 means hello. So he will answer something. Then again continue watching. So nothing is coming. In reality, he is not sending anything. But not seeing a light means 0 to B. Therefore, B continues to note the next message is 0, 0, 0, 0. That means another hello came from A. Then he will again respond to that and then wait for answer from A. A is not doing anything, therefore he reads 0, 0, 0. That means hello. So what's happening? B getting irritated. A is always telling hello, 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 hello. But in reality, A is not doing anything because he is run out of energy in his battery. So the torch is not working, therefore he cannot switch on the torch. So the off torch is assumed to be a 0 by B, and he keeps on noting B 0, 0, 0, 0. After every 4 zeros, he reads that message as hello. So he keeps on getting messages like hello, 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 hello. So B gets irritated. So next time when A and B meet together, then B starts shouting at A, what the fun it is, why are you all the time telling 0, hello, hello, hello. Then A says, sorry, my battery was not working, I was not sending any message at all. Then they realize what is wrong. So just keeping quiet for saying 0 is dangerous. So they realized. So now onwards, they modified their protocol. So they came with another protocol. So that was protocol 1. Another protocol. So to say 1, let us use one color light, say green. And to say 0, let's use red light. So now each A and B are carrying 2 torches, one emitting red light, one emitting green light. So now what happens? If A wants to say 1, he will switch on green light. If A wants to say 0, he will switch on green light. So in this case, what would happen now is the A wants to ask, how are you? Then he will say green, red, green, red. So looking at green, he will understand it is 1. Looking at red, he will understand 0. Green again understands 1. Red understands 0. So looks at the table and realizes that he is man asking, how are you? And I should answer, I am fine. I am fine means 15. 15 means 1, 1, 1, 1. So he will respond by green, 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 green. 4 times he will switch on his green torch, green, 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 green. So when he sees first time green, he understands that is 1. Next time green, he understands another 1. Next time green, he understands another 1. Next time green understands another 1. Okay, now what happens? B wants to go for rest, so he wants to go for lunch or something, so he just stops communication, moves out of this place. So what should happen to A? So A keeps waiting for communication from B. So now A is very clear that either he should receive a green signal or red signal. That means zeros and ones are in terms of green and the red. So there is no B here sitting on the hilltop communicating. Therefore, A is not able to see any light. So no light means no signal. Green light means 1, red light means 0, and no light means no signal. Now there won't be any such problem of writing 0, 0, 0 and understanding it hello. No such thing will happen again. Because if you want to say hello, then you have to show 4 times red light. Your absence cannot show 4 times red light. So you have to be present there. Therefore, this problem can be avoided by using 2 colors. So 2 colors, optically if you look at it, they are of different wavelengths. So or you can say that they are of different frequencies. So we are talking about frequency shift keying. Then they realized that working with the 2 torches is little costlier. Then they came out with another wonderful idea. Then instead of just showing the torch, you can move the torch. If you move the torch horizontally, let it be 0. If you move the torch up and down, then let it be 1. So now from the distance, they just look at how the torch is being moved. If it is moved left right, so it's assumed that the other end wants to say 0. If it is moved up and down, then it's assumed that it is trying to say a 1. Now with single torch, you are able to do both zeros and ones can be transmitted, and there won't be any confusion as we had in the previous case. If nothing is working, then you don't find light. So if you don't find light, there is no signal. If you find light and if it is moving left right, then it is 0. If it is moving up down, it is 1. So with this, the communication can take place very comfortably, and with single torch you can work on. So this change in the direction can be assumed to the phase, so we can call this as a phase shift key. So that's a simple story. We can connect to these 3 types of shift keying. So one is amplitude shift keying, very commonly used, but the problem is if there is any discontinuity in the channel, or if there is any problem with the source, then definitely it is misunderstood as 0. So to solve that problem, we can go for FSK, but the problem with FSK is you need to work with two frequencies. So the whole system has to generate two frequencies, has to understand two frequencies. That means you should be able to generate two frequencies at the sending side, and you should be able to detect two frequencies accurately at the receiving side. So little extra resources are required. So instead, if you can just look at PSK, then only one source is required. And if it is used in phase, yes, it is assumed as 1. If it is out of phase, it is assumed as 0 with some constant, some fixed phase. We just compare it some fixed phase. If it is in phase, it is 1. If it is out of phase, it is the other one. So that way we can make sure that this can be transmitted. And in doing this, what has happened is we are either using a single frequency, or at most we are using two frequencies, and hence our system becomes very limited bandwidth signal, and hence we don't have any problem in finding a necessary system which can allow this thing to pass through. So the channel you're talking about, the system which work on this, so on this very limited bandwidth, so it is easier to build the systems which work on this limited bandwidth. You can find the channels which can be used for this limited bandwidth signals. So all the problems with that infinite bandwidth is solved through this shift key. So that's it for now. Thank you.